Hi, we're KWOC.
We realized we might not have been clear enough about what's going on in our campaign.
So here are the facts.
KWOC stands for Kick Wells Fargo Off Campus.
We're part of a national movement of college students working to hold banks accountable for their role in foreclosure crisis.
The idea is to build regional pressure by having institutions divest from the worst bank in their area.
That's why we're targeting Wells Fargo. They've foreclosed on more homes in Minnesota than any other bank.
In a meeting with admins and KWOC students,
Wells Fargo representatives told us that political pressure has forced them to change policies in the past.
Wells Fargo told us that.
They told us that this would work.
Lots of other groups in the Twin Cities are targeting Wells Fargo too.
last year, Minneapolis Public Schools divested from Wells Fargo.
And we're working in coalition with a ton of community faith and labor groups.
So what would cutting the contract look like at MAC?
KWOC's campaign doesn't involve our endowment at all.
Wells Fargo provides Macalester with P cards, which are like debit cards for our orgs and departments.
The administration identified a couple other banks that could provide exactly the same service.
The only difference would be that we'd be giving our business to local banks, which would reinvest in our community.
Sunrise Community Banks is one really cool option.
They're internationally recognized for their ethical banking practices.
And admins have stated that it would be feasible to bank with them.
They actually said that.
But actually, we've been meeting with the administration and different banks for months to talk about safe, stable ways to move our money.
The admins have been great about involving us and gathering information, but all the decision-making is going on behind closed doors.
Part of the problem is that they haven't told us when they'll decide, which means that they could stall us indefinitely.
But this can't wait.
Because families are being hurt by Wells Fargo's policies right now.
So we gave President Rosenberg a deadline, April 18th.
And the administration kind of freaked out.
They told us that they'll no longer work with us.
They even question our academic integrity in emails to our advisors.
Which is just kind of rude.
And doesn't even really make sense.
So we're moving forward and escalating, because they haven't left us any other choice.
We love Macalester. That's why we care so much.
But we need to put pressure on the administrators, or they'll never take the next step.
You've probably seen some of our big visual demonstrations. Balloons, banners, stuff like that.
We've used these demonstrations to get out information, not to target or blame students.
Our problem isn't Macalester. Our problem is that Wells Fargo is unjustly foreclosing on thousands of people.
They also do a lot of other really nasty stuff.
Like funding private prisons
And immigrant detention centers.
Profiting off student debt.
And not letting Somali immigrants send money back to their families.
Which is pretty messed up.
As long as the administrators refuse to cut the contract, our problem is with them too.
Because they're making us complicit by letting our tuition dollars fund community destruction.
It's pretty obvious that Wells Fargo doesn't represent Macalester's values.
So we're calling on the administration to cut the contract by April 18th.
cut the contract.
Cut the contract.
Cut the contract by April 18th.
Macalester can be proud of cutting the contract.
We can be a national leader in standing with our community.
This is the kind of stuff we'll talk about on PF tours in 5 years.
It's silly to let institutional politics hold us back from being a leader in civic engagement.
After all, that is one of our core values.
It might seem aggressive to put so much pressure on the administration,
But this is how change happens.
If you have any questions about the economics of foreclosure,
Or details about our campaign,
Or want to get involved.
Post on our Facebook page.
Email us.
Or talk to somebody in KWOC.
we'd love to hear your ideas.
Thanks for watching.
peace out.
KWOC.
Yay!
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 P cards.